We are live again. Hello. So, everybody, I had a very nice surprise this morning from my lovely partner, Consigliere. He had turned up at my house with gifts galore. As you can see, my lovely 74th birthday here and Greg's steak bakes. So, I couldn't be more happy, and hopefully, he hasn't infected me. And as you will see, we're not. Hopefully, we're not going down Ashdown Gate. So we are in at 2 meters apart. I have cleansed everything that David has touched, including the kids. That's a rumour. So thank you, David. Thank you very much. That was absolutely beautiful for turning up.
No, thank you for outing me as a pedo live.
That's absolutely fine.
Driving all the way here
when North Manchester meets South Manchester, there you are. So what do you think of South Manchester, Dave? You impressed?
It's relatively civilized and middle class.
You did think it was middle class, didn't
for
you?
a socialist. This isn't quite where a socialist.
No, it's very loose on the socialist sort of front, though, isn't it? What I particularly liked was when you said to me, "Is can I leave my car here?" It wasn't about parking; it was just would it get
safe, basic safety. This is Manchester.
Yeah, it is. It's good. So it's good of you to drive all this way down. Anyway, that's particularly nice of you.
Well, it's a special occasion, you know.
It is. As you know, it is my 47th. I have been getting it wrong all year. One of the best things about it is I've been thinking I've been 47 all year round anyway. So and then somebody pointed out that actually my date of birth meant I was 46. So I've been acclimatized to 47 years old for basically the entire year.
Somebody pointed out my date of birth means I'm 47.
Well, look, I don't know about you, I've never been an attention to detail kind of man here. But, and this is going to, I think you might get really annoyed at this.
So can you see the comments on the...
Yeah.
If you hover over them, you can actually show them.
I can show them. Here we are. There's Josh Rayner. Thank you, very big man. I assume he's talking to me. We got the lovely Amy. Thank you there. That's a bit naughty, a bit risque, but never mind. Darren, thank you very much as well. That's really kind of you. Yeah, it's really good. Now, I'm going to instantly shoot down the wonderful thing that you've obviously done here by saying it's not actually the best present I've had this morning. So
you got a blowjob?
I absolutely did not. But shall we show you the wonderful Jerry Lyons? Mm-hmm. Let me just show you online here. So let's get the volume up here. He sang to me.
No way.
He has done. So he has. So you won't be able to see this because I'm going to show the people, but you will be able to hear. Can you see?
I can see that.
Okay, let's just do.
Hello, Simon. Well, this is money can't buy birthday experience. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pat Butcher. Happy birthday to you.
Now,
that's beautiful.
It is.
That is dedication.
He left that in January. Yeah, no, it's
Morning, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry, the wonderful friend of the show. Don't we say that?
You've got some more comments.
More comments. You still almost look. Balloons look like 70. Thank you. That's lovely. It is 70, 74, or 47. That's how numbers work.
Darren Beckett, I hope you have a better week than you had last week, my friend.
Oh, did he have a?
I don't know. He put one of those cryptic posts on Facebook where he said, "I hold my hands up when I've done something wrong."
Yeah, we really want to get down to what went wrong. So, Darren, if you could let us know on live here today.
Well, actually, if anybody watching wants to guess what Darren did wrong, we'll put it up on the screen.
If we can, yeah, but that'd be good. Our first gotcha on the show. And our first legal gotcha as well. That'll be we get him to admit. Yeah. Who else we got here? We got Paul. Thank you very much. The pink hair. Yeah. Look, Amy's going to. Oh, what's going on there? Amy's going to be particularly annoyed. She did actually send me another tub of pink dye, and I haven't obviously had the time to apply it yet. So that's it. We got Jeff Quantrell. Happy birthday, sausage. There's a man who knows.
What a great name that is.
Sausage. Oh, Quantrell's fantastic. Yeah, it's almost like you've made it up, isn't it? What's it? Dick Power and
Max Power.
Max Power was the Homer Simpson one, of course, wasn't it? There. Who else we got? We got Susie. Hello there. Happy birthday, Simon. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Susie. This is a really boring show, isn't it? Just go there. Go there. We've got Shirley. We've got Charlie Perdius. He with the fantastic hair. We've got royalty here. Sally, hello. Thank you very much. That's good. Charlie Perdius has come back though with. You need to go a few sizes up in there. Now you had to go and ruin it, didn't you, Charlie? You had to ruin it there. Oh, hang on. And Darren Beckett has replied, nothing that big. I just said something out of turn. Okay, well, we're not going to let that lie. If you think that was enough.
Was it said in a professional context or personal, Darren?
Yeah, we need more info in terms of there.
Was Jamie Walsh involved? I like Jamie. Do you know Jamie? From Taylor Walsh. He's Darren's partner.
Yeah, I know. Barry Sharp down there, isn't he? That's he works with them, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I think so. Darren, just Darren, just confirm that's the case. I'm not completely there. Hang on a minute. That's a mate of mine. Wait a minute. Have fun, chicken legs. That was nice for there. And then Salam Hamati,
you just
happy birthday, Lord Whale. That's right. Do you know I am actually a lord? So I did actually.
Did you buy the title?
I have had one of the titles there, so I think I've got a tiny bit of Scotland, which wouldn't be bad now, would it? Really, actually.
Isn't it cheaper just to vote Tory and you get a title for free?
Darren Beckett, he shut this conversation down by taking the personal approach. Well, David, I mean, let's ignore our punters now, as we always do, because this has always been about you and me, hasn't it?
Get rid of Darren.
Sorry, I'm getting a lesson now. Now, I went through an entire morning's worth of news.
Okay,
because Waking Up with Whaley was meant to be our giving back to this industry.
And here we are.
And here we are doing what we always do, sat in a room late, drinking, albeit not the right stuff, and being...
well, okay, well, choose...
Okay, well, shall I got a more point? So let's hear this. Okay. So obviously Property Industry Eye this morning. Does Rightmove's record traffic dent the Say No to Rightmove campaign? Did you see last week?
So I think the backstory to this is that Rightmove have been very clever. So that their reaction to this whole Say No to Rightmove wasn't necessarily to engage with the agents. It was to pump more money
B2C
into getting to the customers. And there is an offshoot from this that agents are actually secretly worried about and they're not talking about, is that what if Rightmove were to open it up to the public and to say, right, you guys come and list on here for free or whatever.
Well, this is what they call the realestate.com issue, isn't it? Which is exactly the same. For those that don't know, in Australia, they did exactly that. They started by allowing the public to essentially upgrade listings. And then what happened was, over a period of time, the agents saw the ability to drop their fees as obviously the public started paying it. But now you've got to the crazy situation where in Australia, actually some individual premier listings account for $5,000 to $6,000, which is around £3,000 to £4,000 as far as I know. So yeah, that would be, and I think that's the only play they've got left in terms of really, going for profitability, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So that was interesting. So lots of comments there, isn't there, in terms of, from the Rightmove campaign. That's just, I don't know if you're aware, we spoke to Neil, we spoke to Rob from Acorn the other day. He wants to join us on the show to talk this through in more detail.
Has he paid his fee to get on the show?
The fee? What do you mean, Greg's? I think I've got enough Greg's for this week here. So I thought that was interesting. We saw ex-Purple Bricks. What did you make of this? Did you see this on the stage?
I did see that. I thought that was
Jim Harris, former training chief and head of territory development at Purple Bricks, is the new MD of Newman Property Experts, which I must admit, I knew Sean was very prominent in Fine and Country. I didn't know he had 16 Fine and Country offices.
Yeah, he's
that's an empire.
Sean is a smart boy, and I think one thing's for sure, he knows how to make it work. He's been doing it long enough, and I think that if you look at, I don't know if Sean's watching, hello, maybe you can tell us, but I think Sean spends quite a bit of his time traveling.
Yeah.
In addition to sort of managing the business, so I think he probably needs a
Someone
number one to take it on.
Absolutely. Well, I think Sean, when I spoke to him last time, admitted that most of his challenge was being in recruitment at the moment.
Right.
You know, essentially it's getting all the people on. And obviously it's interesting though, isn't it? In that broker model, you go essentially straight to the kind of the people that have been doing the individual stuff.
But it's funny, you get this guy's going to have to go from the Purple Bricks mindset all the way over to the fine and country side of things, which is probably polar opposites, isn't it?
Yeah, you would think so.
Where you've got premium fees, paid for advertising by clients. I think
is that one to watch?
Well, look, I think it just shows that the Purple Bricks thing is purely a commercial ruse, and that's it. And the guys running it know how to do their job better if they want to. So,
okay.
So
Well,
good luck to you, Jimbo.
Yeah, Jim, if you want to come on, talk to us, you know where we are. We have very little on, don't we? What was the other one here? Well, this is just on top of that Rightmove story. It was the talk that last year, approximately 60 agents left the portal every month. But during April, during obviously lockdown, nearly 300 quit Rightmove. New research shows. So I do like these people, by the way, that spend their entire lives just monitoring things like, you know, portal juggling and
there's one, there's another.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, Richard Dixon of the Yorkshire Property Guide has begun compiling monthly totals.
So the Yorkshire Property Guide, I think, is Robert May's mate on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
And I think they run like a traditional sort of property newspaper, if I'm not mistaken, like local for that area. But they're obviously very much on top of the whole Rightmove story and everything else. But I think what's interesting about that is that I think there's about 30,000 estate agents, isn't there?
Well, they talk about I've always gone on the basis of how many subscribers. However many subscribers Rightmove have, I always thought it's the size of the market. Yeah. They talk about that, including new homes as well. They talk about 20,000. What was it? From 20,454 subscribers, it dropped down to 19,809, which is obviously that.
And that's the story. It's not a significant enough a drop.
No, what he talks about, he does talk about the importance. He says, if my research shows next month that 500 offices have left Rightmove, then it would be a great result. Obviously, being unbiased here, particularly if it's higher than that. But if it's the same as April or left, Rightmove will be buoyed by this, and this will strengthen their hand moving forward. So, yeah, it is. You know, they lost 645 agents in total.
Check out, see if you've got any comments from the public.
I certainly have. I've got Kerry here, Kerry Stewart. Happy birthday! Thank you very much, Kerry. Susanna's got a comeback. I bought you that title, Lord Title. Bet you never actually registered it though. Moving swiftly on.
She knows the answer to that.
Tom McGee, who keeps dodging the show, and he's noticed that you're all talk, Tom. You're all talk. He says, I feel like I've caught the end of a Daniel Steele teleseries. Two long-lost lovers have finally been reunited. When this screen finishes, Tom, you won't believe it, mate. We'll just have to make sure we turn off the sound as well. We've got Mark Bevan of Van Milder. Oh, and Rightmove now fame. So, Mark, if you'd like to defend the company, you can jump on any time. Dean Gill, training guru extraordinaire. Good to see you boys looking fresh and super fit. Have a great birthday, Whalester.
That's lovely.
Thank you very much. It's nice.
But I think, honestly, going back to that story, I think you're going to have to see more agents leaving.
Yeah. And
they reckon that this is the month where, if it's going to happen, it's going to start to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I just can't see it myself.
Well, we will save that, as we said, for Rob Sargent, because I had a really interesting chat with him on the other day. And actually, I was pretty impressed, because I did think that he was more of the let's punish Rightmove fraternity. Or I have little truck with that. Talking to him, he just wants a result.
I think most of them do. I think they want a fair deal, but
sometimes it has come across a little bit too sort of a bit punchy, as I think
that's
it inevitably will do.
The bitterness, though, isn't it?
So I mean, genuinely talking to them, they just want a dialogue, don't they?
What's in the drawers?
Drawers, you can never look in the drawers. There's pink stuff, if that doesn't matter.
See something hanging out there. It moved.
Anyway, look, we're rustling through this. This was one that came up the other day. I was talking to one of the largest conveyancers, and obviously I think everyone's chuffed that we've got this bounce back at the moment, because every week that we have this obviously strong market means we're not going to see that tailspin into, you know, the property price crashes that the Daily Express and that was there. But they're talking here on Property Industry Eye again. He's down valuing for mortgage lending purposes, about to hit the market, you know, recovery here.
I really hope not.
Well, I don't think there's anybody that...
I really hope not. But if you
that's contentious.
But if you think about it, logically, the RICS and also surveyors will want to cover their backs as much as possible. So
because it comes to PPI, doesn't it?
Well, exactly. So who wants to be the guy that called it wrong just as things were about to tip over the edge? And I think that's the problem that we've got, because valuers, they run scared. They did in 2008.
And this is exactly it.
And
that this would be the thing that would tip the recovery back, wouldn't it?
And it's a shame, because I think if you speak to most agents, they've had 2 fantastic weeks of lots of interest, viewings, offers.
Without the tyre kickers. We've got
we're sifting through all the tyre kickers because we're making people watch videos first. It works. But once you've done that and you agree those sales, you're now going to worry about what happens on mortgage valuation. So it's too early to call it.
It is, but it's, you know, it is worrying about it, and it just makes you wonder how much, or the Bank of England they're talking about there, but how much the government sway can do it. Do they it's not like they can try and force the banks to open up the lending and everything else there, but in terms of this area, I don't think they can just give carte blanche, can they?
It's about security, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's a one to watch again, hopefully. But it was, again, talking to one of the largest conveyancers, was their biggest concern. I think they were talking about it being back to about 75% of transaction levels compared to last year, which I find quite, and it's going to take a while, obviously.
But given what's happened, you'd take 75%, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Well, up here on the board, you can't see this, by the way, listeners, viewers, but what David is watching is more like a serial killer scrolls on here. But actually, the code in the right corner is all those people we asked to predict when the recovery of the market.
Why did it say kill Chris Watkins?
It's the Nixon hate list. I know, just to be clear, that's not me. That's not me coming out and saying I hate Watkin. I do not hate Watkin. I absolutely love Chris Watkin, but he is a competitor and does need to be taken down.
You hunt him for sport.
Yeah, and plus he hasn't even had the decency to come on here and wish me a birthday, which has been that. You know, like in Game of Thrones, you notice who comes on and pays attention.
It's because he's only released like 64 videos in the last 24 hours.
Very
heavy on content.
He got actually, we'll come back to it. Here we are, David Mintz. Are you going to let me take the blame? We absolutely are.
Right, so Tom, I'm sorry, I had work to do, and
so sorry. Yes, Tom was meant to be on.
Tom, let me ask you a question. What, I offered you a slot on the show. You said you wanted an evening. You picked 9:30 and then told me you couldn't do it.
He's running scared.
What on earth were you doing at 9:30? We all know Barnard Castle's closed at that time of night.
He's just driving around Stockport, triangle, pyramid. Right, okay, we've got the lovely Charlotte Campbell. Thank you. Okay, well, you were lovely. Now you've just gone wrong with that comment, don't you? Don't look a day over 73. That's lovely. Mr. Woodcock, one of the other best Simons I know. Second best Simon I know. He's already done this. So apparently, Charlotte, there was come back on a call with the Women in Property Surveyors group last week. This was discussed. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about my birthday there, Charlotte. Sorry. That was my narcissism. Okay, so you were referring to our...
Charlotte, how do we get onto the Women in Property,
so to speak,
group? Yeah, I mean, that sounds interesting.
With social distancing.
Yeah.
And then Susie has come back, and I think she speaks for everybody, double. Wonderful Whaling. I don't know what that is. Anyway, Repeat. You've heard of them. Good old company. They've been releasing KPIs.
I believe they paid for this.
They did, absolutely did. Which is nice for resting balloons and coffee.
Yeah,
it really is. But they've been talking about the numbers. Because, of course, the one thing about them is the source of truth for most data is its CRM. So they are what they don't talk about in here is they don't talk about the total number of of offices. So that would be interesting to get those metrics. But they do talk about the actual figures bouncing back very strongly. So combined net viewings for sales and lettings are now only 26.36% below pre-COVID levels, whilst combined applicant registrations only have another 10.51% to go before recovering to February numbers.
Can I ask you a fully loaded question?
Yeah.
What is the point of this article?
It's to try and
positivity. Other than putting Repeat front and centre of the conversation.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, whisper it quietly. I think that's what a lot of these things are. Yeah, I don't know.
Fake news.
Fake news is how he is. He's got it. Well, I don't know. I think actually there's a lot of barometer ones out there, like Yondell at the moment. Moneypenny always put it, and I think it's really important we understand the statistics before, first of all, talking ourselves into a downturn or anything else. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. But my experience with a lot of these things is that people get bored of it, don't they? They do a couple of them and then they don't win loads of business.
Well, look, we've done 2 market updates last week and this week, and they were both really positive. And you do worry, what if next week you have a shitty week and you can't do it again? And what are Repeat going to talk about in terms of viewings or anybody really? So,
I now have to apologise to everybody here because I think Andy Overman has just had his first Ratner moment. He's had his Ratner moment. This is from another happy birthday, you great big mincer. Okay, so
hey Andy,
I thought he was talking to me. No, he's got to be to me, isn't it? Oh, you're the big mincer.
I'm the big mincer.
So it's happy birthday. So it should be a comma and then you great big mincer.
Correct.
Okay. Well, we are not bigoted on this show, unlike the estate agency podcast, Andy. So we welcome all people, literally. As I said at my door today, who would have ever thought me would have welcomed somebody like David into my house? That's not anti-Semitic, by the way, before we go there. Carl Macareth, hello there. Thank Bacardi, it's your birthday, 50 cents. I have no idea what that means, but it's a wonderful sentiment. And Rob Brady, lovely, lovely, lovely. How old's your liver today? Well, of course, only you earthlings have livers. I don't subscribe to that. So comings and goings.
Yes.
Which you see what I've done there. Comings and goings. So David Linley, I must admit, actually, if David Linley had come in a big cake, that would have been the best. I do have a little bit of a man crush on him. But he's left the fine and country. So he was the CEO there and son of Malcolm, of course, who helped set up the whole guild. And as a real shock surprise, he has left the organisation to pursue other ventures. So we're waiting to hear on that front. I wish him the very best. He's genuinely one of the most professional and impressive performers, but ably replaced by Nikki Stevenson, obviously of Property Academy fame. So
Nikki moved.
She was at Keller.
She was at Keller,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know where else. No, Keller for a while, wasn't it? Yeah.
Nikki, if you let us know your address, we'll send you a good luck card. And hopefully it'll arrive before you move on again.
That's look at it. See, he's a bitter and twisted man. I don't subscribe to that, by the way, Nikki.
I'm kidding,
come on the show
Nikki.
now. We're going to whistle through these last 3 because I'm conscious one of us has a real job to go to. Now, as usual, that was the property update. Obviously, that was the normal stuff. I think that the news always comes into its own on a national level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I was looking here. First of all, it was obviously what 5 things you can do today because it's nice. Boris obviously knew it was my birthday, so he's relaxed the rules, so we can actually now start to get together. And obviously, for a client, so I've got about 20 groups of 6.
I can see them.
They're all waiting. They're all waiting. Hello there. All right, Peter Knight. Okay, yeah. There's the ombudsman. But yeah, so what can we do? The 5 things we can do from today is take your kids to school, but again, only a limited number, isn't it? Really, classes obviously having a maximum of 15 pupils.
I just interviewed a local teacher.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 2
As
minutes
being the digital mayor.
In your
Sorry. Again, I'm getting older now. I'm getting a bit punch drunk. Yes, she said that. Socialise, as we were talking about, groups up to 6 people. That's obviously fantastic. Go outside if you're shielding. I do find that phrase quite difficult. It doesn't feel natural, that shielding phrase. So yes, anyway, so anyone...
But I'm worried about those people that have been in shielding. Their pre-existing conditions, in many cases, are quite severe, and now they're told that they can move outside.
just walk outside.
The pandemic hasn't disappeared.
No.
It's still there, which is why we are socially distancing right now. With the doors wide open.
You keep
We're
trying
actually
to...
in the garden.
It's actually the garden.
I'm observing my 2 meters.
I don't know if anyone can see that, but yes, the windows are open.
Oh, there you go.
It is. I mean, I've obviously, I'm in many ways, I'm quite upbeat about most things, but I just couldn't see how we're not going to have a second wave with this. I was pleasantly surprised that it seemed for some time that we were dodging a bullet again there, but again, it does seem that dreaded R rate is almost touching. And if you just witness, we're going to come on to the next 2 stories. If you witness the fuckwittery of a large percentage of the British public, and they're going to sit there, aren't they, and say, "What, you mean we're going to have to lock down again? Why?" Well, because you've been on the beach.
And all those videos and photos people were posting that the Earth has healed itself.
Yes.
There were dolphins in the Manchester Ship Canal, and all of that. Blue skies, and we can see the stars at night. No pollution. If you would have seen the litter that is strewn across Manchester at the moment from people going out to parks, it's just absolutely.
Well, there's no tidying up, is there? I mean, literally,
they're not emptying the bins.
The bins are that. Really, I just don't understand how that's not a key worker thing. But anyway, that's us renting like proper middle-aged men. So well done, thank you, Dave, for making it. So anyway, that was that one. But this is, let's get to the nub of it. So this one was great. This is police chopper. I assume that was actually a helicopter rather than some copper.
I'm
Chopper. He's called in as hundreds of coppers break up PAC's lockdown house party. It was Hackney, obviously it's Hackney. Hackney police confirmed the operation was linked to a large-scale unlicensed music event on a residential street, and as many as 300 officers were deployed. I mean, yes, it's breaking the rules, but does it need 300?
I think the subtext to this is that there's an awful lot. They're actually worried about mass social unrest at the moment, particularly with what's going on in America.
Yeah,
with the protests having.
You see how it can flip like that, can't it? Yeah.
And I think if you look at the political climate both in America and also here, with some rather right-wing characters running the show, I think you've got the potential for a massive kickoff.
I absolutely think that is. Well, they always talk about it, isn't it, in the summer months when the people like a good riot. So there, my wonderful Emmeline, thank you very much, Emmeline. That's very, very kind. The team did jump on as well this morning. You weren't on the call, Emmeline, so I won't take that as a critique or anything like that. It'll show up in your next review, though. And then Christian Stott of fantastic Andrew Grant fame. Happy 47th. That 1 year really makes for some obvious differences between us. The gingerness, I would have suggested, is another glaring issue there, Christian. But thank you. It's all well meant, I know. And then the final story is again really just to really focus on this fuckwittery of the British public. It's more than 30 people helped off sandbanks as beachgoers ignore lockdown. So Coast Guard said, and I assume they did this like that, it's been a frustrating day, resulting in multiple incidents. Coast Guard chiefs hit out at lockdown breakers who took to North Wales beaches. And you'll understand this. They always refer to this as the Scouse overspill, don't they? Which is where everyone just charges out of Liverpool and gets to these.
To London,
but yeah, London, though, up to 30 people had to be moved off sandbanks. Would you think they were doing a King Canute style thing there? I'm not fucking moving.
Was it?
Yeah, I was going to do a Scouse accent there, but
so all the German tourists got there early. Towns down. Robert May posted about this morning very early on Twitter. It was a picture of people huddled together, maybe sort of 100 or so of them, maybe more, on the beach as the Coast Guard air ambulance landed on the sand.
It's unbelievable.
He said it was a real contender for the Darwin Award, and he's right.
Yeah, I noticed a few of the coffin dancer crews. They've been showing those pictures, haven't they? And it's hard to disagree with any of that.
I think we are gonna have a second wave.
You think it was? And
And
do you
I-
think,
and
but
I
do you
actually
think they're
think
locked down?
I actually think it's going to be worse in this country than it will be in other places in Europe because
Yeah.
there is no such thing as the British common sense.
No.
It's gone.
That's absolutely, yeah. We've shown that.
We've now given rise to
It's
the
entitlements. It's entitlements.
comments.
There's no, I don't think there's not another one. That, again, Carly's going down the 50% into club. If you think I'm showing a YouTube video, Carl, on live on here, I'm older and wiser now, Carl.
Is Carl a property guy or a football
No,
guy?
he's not. This is us breaking out into the. This is our Ricky Gervais moment. So Carl is,
He's
let me on the telly. We're yes.
He's
Dave
Carl
Seeds.
Pilkington.
He's Dave Seeds, one of Dave Seeds' best mates. Obviously, Dave Seed of ex-Carl Tatler and Fortis fame.
as well.
He's a full-on Scouse. Everton bitter blue nose, but he did say that he was very, very pleased that Liverpool would be finally receiving the trophy. So thank you for that.
I like Carl.
Really, we're doing impressions.
I don't know what
we're doing impressions.
I just don't know what I did. I
Right,
think it was
sorry
a
about
Boston accent.
So yes, no, I do think you're right. I think it's gonna really know what, and this gives them the government, of course, the get out, doesn't it? We put the responsibility back on you. I mean, it's a bit more difficult now with Cummings,
Yeah.
but they are going to be able to point to those beaches and say, "We told you."
I'm upset about Cummings.
Yeah.
Not because I think.
Not for the reason.
Not because I think he actually endangered anybody that day.
Yeah.
Or his family.
Or any lack of humility.
Look, I think there are tons of stories where people have taken risks or done things that they shouldn't have done, and it's not hit the press in the same way. So I get that, but it's the message that it sends to the public, and it undermines the Prime Minister. So if Boris
and we wouldn't want that.
if Boris, well, look, you've got people like Andy Overman and Sean Adams who think that Boris is doing a fantastic job and that it's all good. What do you say about this now?
Yeah.
He should have shown strength and got rid of them, but
you
know the real.
Sorry,
reason
you spoke about it earlier though. It's so depressing in so many ways. The way we are mimicking America and coming back, because now people are having to almost into the trenches now, aren't they? Defending that position in terms of defending the undefensible, as far as I can see.
Completely.
Lots of people talking the other day about the Cummings thing, and they tried to do the classic look. It's just the news now keeping this going. And you saw people on the news talking about, I lost my my parents, and they just totally got that wrong. And the fact that so many Tory MPs are out there obviously trying to have a pop at him as well, and the one who obviously resigned,
but
shows that this issue isn't going away quick.
What's the reason he's still around? And you know the reason.
Because he knows where the bodies are, isn't it? Or does he? They don't get arrogant.
It's Brexit. I think they're worried about. I think he is a genius, and I think that one thing that they know about him is that he. Have you seen that film Brexit on Netflix? With Cumberbatch.
Did you know Cumberbatch? For those people who haven't, it's really worth a watch if you can stand any more Brexit. But what was amazing about that, Cumberbatch really went into a lot of preparation for it, and the only reason he took it on was he said, "I'm not interested if it's a hatchet job."
Yeah.
He genuinely wanted to portray him.
I thought it was quite. I thought it showed the other side of Dominic Cummings.
Yeah.
And
there's no doubt, by the way, the thing about geniuses, and I have been lucky enough to work with a number.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a genius. You're a genius in a very specific niche.
Thank you.
But they are myopic. By almost like you talk about, and that's, by the way, myopic can also be almost like a singular focus.
Yeah.
But it means that you don't worry about the muggles. The muggle fox, they can just, that doesn't matter.
Well, that was it. So if you watch this film, I was worried that, you're going to get Dominic Cummings talking about members of the public in the same way that you saw the disdain that he very clearly had for the press when he was speaking to them. He could not keep that off his face. How much he absolutely loathed the position he was forced into.
Hundreds of years ago, we would have had them beheaded.
When you listen to the dialogue in that film, and you listen to him talking about how the members of the public were, he's obviously a very nuanced social scientist, isn't he? Almost. So he knows what the public want. He knows what they want to hear.
But how does he get it so wrong with his own case? I suppose that is when it's yourself. You don't.
I think he thought he was going to get away with it.
You always think you're cleverer than the.
That's it. Who's going to?
Was it anyone the cleverest guys in the room?
Yeah. I think he thought he was getting away with it, and that's it. And
Good. Well, I think look, we've done the news to death now. I am.
I've got a job to go to.
You absolutely have. I am.
Bye, everyone.
I couldn't be happier with the start of the day. Thank you everyone for your lovely, kind comments. It's been fantastic, and let's wish David a happy day.
Happy day. Oh,
happy day. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. Catch up with you soon. There we go.